Well, Lee, while you're sitting there, weeping and wailing and gnashing your teeth over having to watch Minecraft again, welcome back to the Movie Pope podcast. And today we are going to be taking a look at the at the trailer for Ironheart, the long-awaited show that is showing off Riri Williams, who is the successor to Iron Man. Shut up. To Tony Stark, who tragically passed away in Avengers Endgame. Now, in the comics, Riri Williams, takes over the mantle of Iron Man, or I should say Ironheart, and continues to do the things that Iron Man does, but without the Stark Industries, wealth. So it's kind of interesting to see what's going on here, and it is being produced by Ryan Coogler.
Dead, right? He's just Dr. Doom now.
Well, funny you mentioned that, because in the comics, when Iron Man quote unquote dies, there are two successors to the Iron Man mantle. One of them is Riri Williams, and oddly enough, Dr. Doom also takes on the mantle of Iron Man. So,
interesting.
Yeah. So in the comics, Victor Von Doom, after Reed Richards saves his life or something, he decides, you know what? I've been a villain all my life. I think I'll try being a hero for once. So he basically replicates, the Iron Man technology, and he becomes Iron Man. And in the comics, for a brief period of time, when you talk about Iron Man, you're talking about Victor Von Doom. And Tony Stark, he exists sort of as an AI figure who kind of guides Riri as she becomes Ironheart. So you can sort of see where things are going here. Now, Lee, you were lamenting over the fact that that Ryan Coogler, who recently made the movie Sinners, is the mastermind behind Ironheart. What are your what's going on with that?
So I haven't seen Sinners, right? So we've talked about this. I really wanted to see it. So
it's on our to-do list. I mean, yes. we will go and see it.
I saw it pop up, and I'm like, oh, good, I can finally watch Sinners. But then, I was watching, other stuff that we were going to be talking about. So I'm like, oh, damn, I had to put that on the back burner. So it just kind of stung a little bit when I saw his name come across the screen. I'm like, oh, man, I really want to see your movie Sinners, but I'm stuck watching a whole bunch of other garbage in between. So,
I mean, welcome to mass media in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
All right. So without further ado, let's dive into Ironheart.
Ryan Coogler.
Hey, they all got to whore themselves out somehow,
Yeah, I mean, it's true, unfortunately.
For real?
Got in there with this mysterious thing.
In less than 3 minutes,
and now there's
the air in this elevator will no longer be breathable.
Oh, what is this?
Your interview. You'll suffocate and die unless you break into the device on the floor.
I just got dark really quickly.
What?
Good luck.
Screw this.
She's supposed to be Iron Man.
Riri Williams was a genius. So you in or out?
Wait, is she a genius because she could MacGyver herself out of an elevator? What was that death?
Waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
How come you're not working at one of those fancy tech firms?
After my internship abroad, I want to build something undeniable.
Gotta reference that other movie, right? Gotta have that connection.
Iconic.
It's a brand new.
I can give you the tools to help you carry out your vision.
That's not sus at all.
Anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things.
Oh, you're picking up on how he's gonna be the obvious villain.
What will you do, Riri?
You've bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew.
I could chew a lot.
It just looks
You
so
know nothing about this
fake
man.
looking.
You're gonna end up dead or in jail.
This is so much bigger than that. This is wild. A shady bunker.
My bunker's not shady. Would a shady bunker have that on the wall?
It's literally above a crate of self-guided missiles.
I'm returning those.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're supposed to laugh at that. That was a comedy thing, Luca. Did you laugh at that?
She speaks the bullshit.
Really? Oh. I thought the whole trailer was a comedy bit because you can't be serious. I mean, so my understanding is that it sounds like Riri Williams gets mixed up in the wrong crowd, and they're doing all sorts of shady ass things to kind of get her the money to build that suit, and and then I'm guessing at some point, because let's assume it's going to be 6 episodes, right? 6 or 8 episodes. By episode 4, she realizes, oh shit, I'm actually running with the wrong crowd, and she turns on them. And then they're like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, we gave you all this money. Like, why are you turning on us now? And she's like, screw you guys. And then I guess it's like a cat and mouse game where they're trying to kill her and she's trying to, get the fuck out of Dodge. I mean, it writes itself. Come on. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, do you not get an impression of what the plot is going to be?
Oh no, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. I think you exactly said the way it was. Like, I think we can all see that clearly, someone's manipulating her, right? Using her brain for something else. She's not aware of what it is because, she has to be all sheltered and everything. And then it's gonna, the face mask gonna come off and it's gonna be very obvious that what's gonna be happening. So yes, I don't envision this to be any type of incredibly thought-provoking or unique story. It just feels like, unfortunately, it goes with all these other things where we're trying so hard to, kind of pass the mantle on to a new generation of heroes. And I feel like universally, no one wants to see that, right? We've seen it happen so many times, and people just don't want to see it. And I don't think it has anything to do with
it's not racism, by the way. So if anybody accuses of racism, it's not that.
Of course. No, wait a minute. I will say this, right? There's probably some people that have some not so great reasons for not liking stuff. But I also think that there's a fair group of people as well that look at it as just being a shameless way to insert a new character into an existing character, right? I like to think about it like movies, right? It always feels awkward when you have, like, let's take The Mummy, for example, right? Remember Rachel Weisz in the Mummy movies, right?
Yeah.
So the third one came around, right? She didn't reprise her role, right? It was somebody else that played.
She pretty much did what Scarlett Johansson did and just dropped the mic and set him out. Like,
exactly.
Later, bitches. Yeah.
Yeah. It felt weird no matter what, right? Because you know who that character is already, right? Seeing someone that's there replacing that character is going to make you be like, huh, you know what? That's really distracting, right? Like, you can't ignore it. And I think this is what's happening with all these, right? Like, you can't just replace them because they know what it is. Now, you do have some interesting stories to tell, right? Because if you're trying to do something different where that maybe character fails, right? Like, I think about U.S. Agent, right, for Captain America.
Yeah.
Kind of an interesting thing of like, hey, what do you do if you try to replicate what someone did before? Not everyone's able to kind of stand up and they're not able to hold the mantle.
Right.
So I think there are some interesting stories that come from that, but then there's a lot of these where it's just like, hey, this guy just fills in, and it always feels weird, right? You see it with, almost all of them at this stage, right? Like, we've seen Captain America pass the mantle, we're seeing Iron Man pass the mantle here, so to say. We've seen it happen with, like,
Hawkeye is another example,
and everything else. So.
Well, don't forget Hawkeye too, because we had that show with Kate Bishop. But I was gonna say, at least with U.S. Agent, like, he's supposed to be a copy of Captain America, but he's taking it in a different direction.
Absolutely. And to your point with Hawkeye too, right? Like, he's just a normal dude, right? That can just shoot a bow and arrow really good, right? So like, characters like that, I don't have as many issues with because, like, I kind of get where they're coming from, right? there's only so many ways you have, some guy with loads of cash that is, uses his brilliance to create these suits. There's only so many ways you could like make that character work before it just feels repetitive, and it just feels repetitive.
Because even in pop culture, I mean, the millionaire who uses his money for good, I mean, that in itself is not a very new concept. I mean, my God, I mean, have you looked at DC lately?
I don't know. I'm probably gonna watch it, right? Because I'm stupid like that, and it just feels like it's gonna be a huge talking point. So it's like it's absolutely geared up for people to watch it because I feel like it's going to attract all audiences. People are gonna hate watch it. People are gonna watch it just because like people that hate watch it, they want to just like not want to listen to all their crap. So it's. I don't think it's going to be good, right?
But it's pretty good fodder for for people like us because it gives us a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's the equivalent of it's the movie or TV equivalent of empty calories, right? Like there's a lot in there, but there's really nothing substantial you can glean from it. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, plus we're talking about a franchise that's going like 20 something years on now,
Right?
So it's like, what boggles my mind is the fact that they're able to just make more of it. Now, granted, I mean they do have 100+ years of material to work with, right? So it's not like they're coming. I mean, if they're able to pull all of this out of thin air and they've been keeping this up for 20 years, I will be very impressed, right? But the fact that they're leaning into 100-something years of material, they can just keep going back and mining things and taking stories that people know very well if you're a huge comic book fan and sort of reimagining it in a way where instead of Tony Stark it's Riri Williams. But again, we've mentioned this time and time again. It's like at what point do you stop and realize maybe this has gone on long enough? Maybe we shouldn't be telling stories like this because it's just, I mean, it's kind of like the Carlos Mencia joke. How many times can you take, the same joke and repackage it in a different accent? That's how I feel with this. It's like, I mean, these are stories that we've probably seen over and over again, but because it's Marvel, it's supposed to be new and innovative. When really, it's nothing new.
Yeah, it's always going to be compared, good or bad, to its predecessor, right? And I feel like all this is doing is opening up a can of worms for a character that I think a lot of people really enjoyed, right? I don't think there's many people out there like, I didn't like Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Iron Man, right? I think everyone really liked Tony Stark and what he did.
But I mean, regardless of that, like, it's become the iconic role for him, and people will associate him with it, whether you like it or not. I mean, obviously, people will have their own fictional casting. People will think, oh, wouldn't it be great if, Tom Cruise was wearing the suit instead. I mean, it's wishful thinking, but but at the end of the day, Robert Downey Jr. has been cemented in our imagination as Iron Man. Like you can't go a day without referencing RDJ as the Iron Avenger or the Armored Avenger. Really, it's kind of like how when people think of Chris Evans, like people forget. A lot of people now will forget that he was the Human Torch. Because he's been so closely identified, so closely linked with Captain America, like it's really, really hard to kind of divorce that, divorce the actor from that role. However much you want to try to, run from that, and that's why Chris Evans' cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine was so amazing. Was the fact that he wasn't leaning into he wasn't really leaning into Captain America. He was leaning into the Human Torch, kind of just reminding us, hey, this is the first superhero role I did before I took up the shield, and I can actually take the piss out of the character. I don't have to take it so seriously like all you mofos are taking me seriously as Captain America. But I mean, it comes out June 24th. Lee, you said you're going to do it because you're a slut for punishment. But let us know down in the comments below. Is this a show that you are going to hate watch, or do you think there might be something interesting to glean from it? But other than that, we'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.